baseball here on Root Sports, being brought to you by your local Ford stores. By the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting Under the Sun Tour, July 25th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By Alaska Airlines, enjoy free entertainment on your personal device. Learn more at alaskaair.com. And by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. Cloudy day with sun breaking through with a nice breeze here in Cleveland, Ohio. Our last look at the Indians for the 2015 season. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers with you. Let's review what happened last night, and it was some good stuff offensively. 9-3 Mariners win, Mike. Really outstanding.
And he gets started with Kyle Seager here in the third inning. For Kyle Seager, how about a grand slam to get the Mariners going? His second grand slam of the season. It's 10th home run. Mariners off to a good start in the third.
Fourth inning, Logan Morrison hitting streak at 15. Make it 16 as he doubles in 2 runs here. And the Mariners have a 6-0 lead at that point.
And then you get to the 7th inning, and Kyle Seager, he's having a big night already, a grand slam. How about this base hit to drive in a run? Kyle pick up a double out into the gap. He's been a hot hitter for the Mariners. He really likes hitting in this ballpark.
That was the start of a nice little party here. Double. Another double by Seth Smith. Extends his hitting streak to 4 games.
And how about Trumbo? He hits this ball so hard. We thought it was going to slide foul, but he ends up putting a hole into the padding out there in right field, and he'll drive in a run.
That was really something. We take a look at our Lexus starters for today. Another look at Sean Markham. He beat the Mariners back in Seattle. Jay Happ, his numbers are good, and he's 1-0 with a 3.09 ERA over his last 6 starts. He deserves a win.
And he deserves a lot of credit for the job that he's done for this club. We talk about the starting pitching. He's been one of the more consistent ones with Felix. So I look for him to go out today, stay away from the walks, try to keep the ball on the ground. But Happ is in line to try to get his 4th win on the season.
He's had 5 consecutive no decisions. He's time to get off of that train. Mariner fans in the house here. As the boys signing some autographs. Going to be a nice, pleasant day. Day baseball here in Cleveland, and it's a great doubleheader sports-wise for Cleveland because Game 4 of the NBA Finals is later on tonight. But we get the day started right now, right here on Root Sports. It's the Mariners looking for the sweep against the Cleveland Indians. First pitch is straight ahead. on a hazy yet breezy day here in Cleveland, Ohio. As you look at the Terminal Tower, welcome to Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew on hand here at Progressive Field as the Mariners go for the sweep. 2-0 on this road trip with 6 more to go. Next stop will be Houston, then San Francisco. Glad you have joined us this morning in Seattle. A little after 9 back home. And Logan Morrison going to lead it off against veteran right-hander Sean Markham. And here we go. Breaking ball for strike 1. .72 degrees here at 12:10 Eastern Time. Markham, a veteran guy, has been around. He beat the Mariners back in Seattle on May 30th. Went 5 1/3, pick up a win there.
You see his numbers: 2-1 record, 5.19 ERA. Only 26 innings, but he has 25 strikeouts. He's also walked 10 batters. Opponents hitting .250 against Markham.
He popped up. Taking a look is Roberto Perez. No play. Well, how about this? This seems like the first game in a while, probably since Markham, we saw him last. We don't have a flamethrower throwing against him.
No, you don't. His fastball will be anywhere from 84 to 86 miles an hour. He'll also mix in a cutter. He'll throw his cutter quite a bit, almost as much as his two-seam fastball. His cutter will be about 83 miles an hour. Mix in a changeup for his off-speed pitch, an occasional curveball and slider. But typically he's going to be a fastball cutter. That's what the guys are going to see. And as Dave mentioned, not overpowering. That's the locate.
1-2 pitch. And a check down to third base umpire Dan Iasone, and Lomo's gone.
We'll take a look at the check swing by Logan. He thought he was able to hold up, but they end up bringing him up. And we'll take a look at the rest of the lineup for the Mariners, brought to you by Chevron. After Morrison, it'll be Jackson, then Cano. Kyle Seager, the cleanup hitter in the series, 4 for 6 with 5 RBIs, a home run, and a couple of doubles. Then it'll be Smith Trumbo, the DH, hitting 6th. Ackley, Zunino, and Miller round out the 9 for the Mariners.
6-game hitting streak for Austin Jackson. He looks at strike 1. CB Buckner's got balls and strikes today. Gabe Morales at first, Dale Scott at second, and Iasone's at third.
Austin has really been swinging the bat well. He's hitting 12 of his last 13 games.
Played a terrific center field, too.
Yeah, and over those 13 games, hitting .358 with 7 extra base hits. So he's driving the baseball.
Went back and was looking at numbers from early May. He's hit .247. He starts today at .274. He's really picked it up. Could have him back after that ankle injury. Here's the 0-2. Ball and 2 strikes from 33-year-old Sean Markham out of Kansas City. Missed the 09 season because of Tommy John surgery. Missed the back end of the 13 season with thoracic outlet syndrome. Been with Toronto and Milwaukee and Cleveland, his 3rd big league ball club. I think that is 4th. "13 games over 500 in his career record. Record of 60 up and 47 down. Seventh start against the Mariners. Breaking ball misses. 2-2 record against Seattle.
As you watch the outfielders today, obviously there's going to be plenty of sunshine for them, and the wind is opposite of what we saw last night. The wind blowing in from right field. Last night it was blowing out to right.
Three and 2 to Austin Jackson. Hit pretty well to center field, backing up Brantley. And he's there to make the catch. How good was last night with the offensive production by the boys last night? That was just sensational.
It was great to see. Defensive setup brought to you by American Family Insurance. Rayburn is in left field. Brantley out in center. Brandon Moss in right. Urshela getting his 2nd start of his major league career at third base. Aviles and Walters will play up the middle. Santana is at first base. And Roberto Perez will do the catching for the Indians. Gomes the DH.
He's at Robinson Cano. Robbie scored 2 runs last night, 1-0 for 4. Good to see him on base. Robbie last night reached on a walk and an error. Mariners won last night 9-3. And how about this? Runners in scoring position 5 for 10. That's a nice.
That will work.
Yes, it will. And conversely, the Tribe struggling almost as badly in overall numbers, runners in scoring position. They went 1 for 17. And what was the number you had? 0 for 10 with Taijuan Walker. He had runners in scoring position.
Yep, Taijuan held them to an 0 for 10 with runners out there in scoring position. I think that's one of the things that Lloyd was most happy with Taijuan is. He's talked about it before, but his numbers with runners in scoring position have not been good. And he's starting to pick it up in last night. 5 out of the 6 innings he was in trouble and was able to get out of it.
There's Jen and Shannon detailed on a pregame show. No Nelson Cruz. Why not give him an extra day off to be healthy? Head back to Houston, where he hit the train last time we were there. Monster home run, left center field. 2 outs and a 2-2 pitch coming here to Cano.
He is not happy right now. That last pitch off the plate was called a strike.
There's Nelly. So another 3-2 count.
And you can see that 4th pitch he called a strike on Robbie.
Cano 7 for 19 against Markham. 3-2 pitch. Yep, with the 6 lefties in the lineup, they can make some hay against Markham. It's not fared as well against lefties. 347, 4 home runs. Righties, $149.
Oh boy.
Yep, it's going to be one of those kind of days. Going to be one of those kinds of days. 1, 2, 3. Couple strikeouts from Markham. Indians coming to bat. Look at what he did in his last start. 1 in a string of no decisions. 5 consecutive, 7 total. So hopefully things will turn around and get him a win here today. This is what he did against Cleveland last time. Left with a 3-1 lead in a game that the Mariners eventually lost in extra innings. Let's take a look at that Indian lineup he'll face today.
Floor manager Terry Francona leading off. It'll be Mike Aviles and it's Santana. Brantley will hit third. Rayburn, the cleanup hitter, he's in left field. Jan Gomes normally catching the DH, hitting fifth. Then it's Brandon Moss in June hitting 300 with a couple of home runs. Urshela, Walters, and Perez round out the 9 for the Indians. And for Happ, looking for his 4th win, a 3.31 ERA, 49 strikeouts to 14 walks on the year.
Mike Vilas batting in the 9-hole the last 2 days, leads off this afternoon. Falling a strike. See the Cleveland shortstop. Two balls, one strike. Wow. 3-1. Right-handers hitting .267 against Jay Happ. And he walked it.
And the defensive setup for the Mariners. Ackley in left field, Jackson in center, Seth Smith out in right. Kyle Seager is at third. Miller and Cano playing up the middle. Logan Morrison at first base, and Mike Zunino. Caught in last night's ball game, was able to get out a little bit early, but he's back behind the ditch today. So a quick turnaround for Mike.
I think Mr. McClendon's blood pressure might be on the rise this afternoon.
Well,
the calls he's seeing and not getting it. Won't play for CB Buckner.
Well, Cano wasn't happy in his at bat, and he let CB know about it. And then a couple of pitches that were close for Jay as he started the game were not called strikes.
Switch hitter Carlos Santana. When he came back after paternity leave, he was wearing his pants like this in Seattle, and Felix Hernandez and Robinson Cano were just giving him the business. You got kids' pants on there screaming at him in Spanish. They were busting his chops. Right now, Robbie not in a laughing mood after that strikeout. 0-2. Nice quick feet down there by Sandy Alomar Jr., first base coach. Mike Sarbaugh is at third. Hit well left field, but Ackley will back up, make the catch. One away.
If you look at the Indians offensively, they're 5th in average. So they can hit. 9th in runs scored. 1st in walks.
Santana leads the way.
Yeah, 1st in walks, 3rd in on base percentage. But as you mentioned, they've struggled hitting with runners in scoring position. 224 on the year as a team.
Mariners on the same block at 221. A couple doors down. Here's Michael Brantley. 8-game hitting streak working. Lefty's hitting .250 off of Happ this year with no homers. Happ has had the better end of their confrontations.
And for Jay, his fastball will be around 91, 92 miles an hour on average. He'll use it quite a bit. Anywhere from 65 to 70% he'll throw his fastball throughout the game. Also mix in his changeup and curveball. Occasional slider from him.
0-2 to Brantley. Aviles at first. He's attempted 1 steal in 38 games, and he was successful. Tribe's 7th in base stealing with 32. Indians have lost 3 consecutive games. 3-5 in the month of June after a 17-12 month of May. Outside. And they start today in last place in the Central, 7.5 back of Kansas City. Minnesota in second place, 2 back. Terry Francona's team a little bit of a dip here. One and two. Missed the way. Outstanding second baseman Jason Kipnis getting the day off. Second leading hitter in the league at .333 against his tough left-hander Jay Happ.
Something to remember as we get later into the game, that he will be available to pinch hit.
Hit hard through the hole by Brantley. Moving up the bases of Aviles as Seth Smith gets it back in. So 1 out, 2 on.
He's going to get a fastball. Good fastball hitter. And this one's down and in, right in the loop zone for the left-hander. He hits it hard out into right field.
Brings up Ryan Rayburn playing in left field. Two days ago got the start in left. Ball 1. Been on a fairly regular basis. This is his 41st game. Aviles the runner at second. Brantley's at first. John Adams banging the drum. Gentleman who works for the phone company here in Cleveland. 1-1 to Rayburn. There's John, and that drum goes way back. Man, oh man. She either can't hear or just enjoys the drum beat.
Well, they're up there in the bleachers, so she can move around if she like.
Dick, I rate that record at 75. Ball and 2 strikes to Rayburn. Two and 2. Well, there's a lot of places he'd do that. You'd have whole sections of people going, dude, really?
Not here.
It's part of the fabric.
Yeah. Been here for a long, long time.
2-2.
Well, it's starting to get to the point where Jay could really use a double play ball. Next pitch will be 20 for him here in the inning.
Two one out, and a 2-2 count to Rayburn.
Pretty good fastball in on his hands, right on the inside corner.
Fly down to Houston for our second visit there. Felix Hernandez, Mike Montgomery, and Roena Solis will be pitching for the Mariners against Brett Oberholzer, Colin McHugh, and Lance McCullers. So this will be the third series against Houston missing Mr. Keuchel. Does not come back to Zunino.
And Houston continues to struggle. Lost 7 in a row now.
Starting today, lead over Texas 2, 4 over the Angels, 6 over the Mariners. Mariners have them this weekend for 3, and then back home at our place for 3 next weekend. Here's that opportunity we've been looking for. Boy, pitch count, you're not kidding. It is mounting. This is 3, 6, 8. About the 9th pitch coming up here to Rayburn.
Number 9.
John Gomes on deck. He's DHing today. Really good hitting catcher. Big pitch. Hit the Seager. Gives ground on it. Gets it to Cano, and then Cano in a transfer bobbles. Aviles will hold at third. So they do get one. Dale Scott, the umpire, at second base.
A little bit unusual to see Kyle give ground on that. Usually he'll come in and get it. But I think that was such an in-between hop. He had to back up a step. Rayburn runs well. I'm not sure they would have been able to turn it.
Would have been nice to get that double play because Gomes is swinging the bat well. 4 for 8 here in the series. Hit 2 home runs on Tuesday night. Came back with a couple singles to left in yesterday's game. 6-game hitting streak. To Gomes. He has one of the more pronounced buggy whips we've seen, the way he loads up in that bat. Young man from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Well, right now he looks like a different hitter than what we saw at Safeco, and he's been swinging the hot bat, as you mentioned, and he looks as if he's on every fastball. If it's on the plate in the strike zone, he looks as if he's getting the barrel to all of them, even that foul ball. So you have to be careful with him.
Inside, 2-1. Played his college ball at University of Tennessee. Rocky Top. Two-one pitch. As you were saying.
Even though he's late on his swing, the barrel is there as he lined it foul. And for Jay, he's thrown 27 pitches here in the first.
It's a dangerous 5-hole hitter. Two and two.
Cleveland did this to him when he pitched against them at Safeco. He was only able to go 5 innings against the Indians. He had to throw 101 pitches to get through the 5. And we were talking about the Indians. Good hitting club. 5th in average, 1st in walks, 3rd in on base percentage. And they can do this to you.
Two on, 2 out, a 2-2 count. Struck him out. Let that be his hiccup inning. Get over the hump and move forward. Tribe threatens, doesn't score. We move to the 2nd inning. Cleveland, Ohio, as we go to the top of the second inning. Our Ask Root question today. Luke wants to know what's going to happen when Iwakuma and Paxton get healthy. Well, certainly be a plethora of starting pitching. There's nothing wrong with having depth, but some decisions will have to be made.
Well, you hope so. Teams go through it across the big leagues, and guys get hurt, and Iwakuma and Paxton on the mend right now, and you hope when they come back that everybody is still healthy. But it's a good problem to have if your 5 starters that you already have are pitching extremely well, which they have been. So that will be some tough decisions for Jack and for Lloyd to make. But I would say it's a good one to have.
There's Kyle Seager. Sits safely in 14 of 15 games here in Cleveland in his career. A .433 hitter in this building with 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. Grand slam yesterday, 2nd of the season, 3rd of his career. Seager, Smith, and Trumbo 4, 5, and 6 here for the Mariners against Sean Markham. Doing one. Wind coming in from right center field from the plaza out there. Here's the strike. Kyle starting today, a .280 hitter, 10 homers and 34 runs batted in. Off speed pitch. Santana will take it. And there's one away here in the second inning. Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford, and the defending world champion San Francisco Giants make a rare trip to Safeco Field for 2 games set this Wednesday and Thursday. Get your tickets today at Mariners.com. We're going to see the Giants will be in San Francisco Monday and Tuesday. See Los Gigantes, 3-time world champions in the last 5 years. What a run that's been.
Bruce Bochy's been having a good time in San Francisco. They are hanging right in there with the Dodgers, 1 game back of the Dodgers.
As they continue to improve, just get into the show, right? Get into the party. See what happens.
Indians will put the shift on with Seth Smith hitting. Seth having a good series, 3 for 7 in the series, a couple of doubles.
Seth with 16 doubles. 3rd place in the American League.
And a double in 4 consecutive ball games.
That's impressive. I mean, he's hitting, because he's not a speed guy, so he's hitting the daylights out of the ball. Getting a lot of gap shots. Good stuff. And a good count here, 2-1. Terrific daytime hitter so far this year, 395, 7th in the league. Way foul.
It looked like it was a cutter trying to get it in on his hands. Again, Markham does not throw hard. His fastball will be 85, 86 miles an hour. Cutter, a couple miles per hour below that.
Two pitch here to Smith, and down and in. All right, now your super hot team in Major League Baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays. They've won 8 consecutive ball games, or a game over 500 right now. 31-30, 3 games off the pace.
Pitching must be getting better for them, because they score a lot of runs, and they have all year.
#1 scoring team at 5+. Kansas City's hot again, 4 straight wins. As you mentioned, Houston's lost 7. Cincinnati's picked it up a little bit, winning its last 4, and the Dodgers have won 3 in a row. 3-2 to 7. Right, 3 called. Third strikeout for Mark, 2 down here in the second. Bring up Mark Trumbo. Right now, he is the clubhouse leader for the hardest hit single of the season.
Got a base hit and an RBI last night. Hit the ball down the right field line and smoked into the padding out there. Left a mark in the padding.
Ball was really crushed. My goodness. What do you figure? 15 feet off the ground at best.
That's what it seemed like. When he backspins the baseball, it's a lot like what we've seen from Cruz, where he'll hit it in, you watch a lot of games, you can kind of tell where the ball is going to come down. They almost have an afterburner on it, some extra carry, and it'll just jump again. Not many guys can hit the baseball as hard as those two.
Markham trying to stay away from him. 2-1. First time they're facing off. 2-2. Shortstop Aviles. Heels on the grass. Took a couple of steps towards the middle. Here's the pitch. He didn't like that call. This is going to be one of these days. Somebody's going to go off. I can feel it. It's 4 strikeouts for Markham. Big explosion. Clendon's blood pressure may be going up, and he's seeing 4 strikeouts, 3 of them looking, called by C.B. Buckner. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
And right there, watching him, what he's trying to let CB know is that there's a couple of pitches that were down that you missed on my guys. And he also missed a couple with Jay when he was pitching on some pitches that were borderline down that Jay didn't get the call on. He's just letting CB know. And to me, he's just trying to help him out because they can see the same thing that we can. And just trying to help him. But CB, as we know over the years, he's not going to listen to anybody. So it'll be interesting to watch how this goes.
All right, now somebody's giving odds on how long Mr. McClendon will be in this ballgame. 2-0 to Brandon Moss leading off. Moss, Urshela, and Walters 6, 7, and 8. 2-0. 3-0. Giovanni Urshela is on deck. There's a strike. 3-1. Strike 2. As far as we know, with the 100th home run that Mr. Moss hit recently, the ball was ransomed. The Apple people stepped up. I wonder, has the delivery come through yet? Because they said, Apple said they were going to take care of him. The bullpen guys,
I give them a lot of credit.
Oh man, hey, ingenious. Dude, let's get some Apple stuff and hold this ball ransom. You know, it means a lot to him. 3-2. Moss with a 3-game hitting streak in progress.
And you can see he has struggled with full counts. 0.45 batting average.
Pay it off. 3-2. Hit well. Right center field. One hop off the fence, and Brandon Moss leadoff double here in the second, his 15th double. Moss, a .242 career hitter against the Mariners.
Well, take a look at the location of this fastball, trying to get it to the outside corner, probably middle away. A pretty good pitch and down. The other part about that at bat is Jay had to throw 29 pitches in the first, and that was an 8-pitch at bat for Moss to lead this inning off.
Here's Urshela playing in his 3rd big league game. Swing and a miss. Happ got out of trouble in the first inning. Left 2 runners stranded at first and third. Back with a strike ball and 2 strikes. Urshela, a .275 hitter down at Columbus at AAA. Look out. 2 strikes. Zach Walters on deck. One-two pitch from Happ. Fouled off almost the same spot. Good grief.
It's a pretty good battle. Urshela, the young hitter, is trying to hit the ball the other way. Nobody out, and the runner at second. That's what he's supposed to do. And Jay, he's throwing that cutter in on his hands, trying to get him to hit the ball on the ground to the left side so they can keep Moss right where he's at.
Good check. Swing did not go as they check with Gabe Morales, the first base umpire. So Happ's run a 2-2 count here. Two-two pitch. Almost hitting full count. Back-to-back full counts by Happ, and it's the 1-2 4th one in the ball game. We're only in the 2nd inning. Zach Walters on deck, the second baseman. He's a switch hitter. Strike 3 called. Shell is gone. Second strikeout for Happ, 1 away.
It's just a good fastball after all those pitches inside. They're trying to go to the outside corner. And Mike Zunino doing a great job. You can see on the EQC tracer, close pitch, and Mike gets the call for Happ.
So Gummer and acids, or both, for Terry. Zach Walters, switch hitter. He's playing in his 9th game. Came over from the Nationals last July in the Asdrubal Cabrera trade. Swing and a miss. Cabrera now with Tampa Bay. Fouled off the glove of Zunino. 0-2. Here's Jason Kipnis. Rare day off for him. Outstanding hitter. Good second baseman. Only his second day off. No, it's first day off. It's the first day off. Fouled back. Happ ready. 0-2 to Walters. Dribbled foul. A lot of pitches for 2 innings.
Well, next pitch will be 50 for him. So he had to throw 29 pitches in the first. Now 20 pitches here with 1 out in the second.
Breeze coming in pretty strong from right center. Two pitch. Bounced it. Just 2 hits in a ball game. Both of them belong to Cleveland. Down the line. Trouble, fair ball. It's 3 hits for Cleveland and a run. Zach Walters with his 3rd RBI of the season. 1-0 Tribe.
Take a look at the swing after a number of off-speed pitches. That's the cutter trying to get it on his hands, and he's able to do it, but he fights it off. Awkward looking swing by him. He was beat on the pitch, but he'll dump it right down the right field line. Pretty good play by Smith. They have that track here, and sometimes the ball bounced funny off of it, but he was able to handle it and hold him to a single.
Here's Perez, the catcher. First pitch to Roberto on the corner for a strike. Perez playing in just his 37th game. Breaking ball misses. Infield double play depth. Miller and Cano. Shea clearly not as sharp as he's been in recent games. You mentioned he did throw a lot of pitches against Cleveland, but for the most part in that run that he's been on with all these no decisions, he's been pretty sharp.
No, he's typically an efficient pitcher. He can get deeper into games with 100 pitches that he's going to throw. But we're also seeing a lot of this. They're fouling off a lot of pitches, and we've talked about it with the Indians. Pretty good hitting ball club, and against Jay, Now the second outing against them, we're seeing pretty much the same thing. A lot of foul balls.
Outfield straightaway, not too deep. 2-2 pitch. Just got a piece of that.
What, 56 pitches.
Yeah, we're only in the second inning. Two and two. Way outside. Another full count. Third this inning. Fifth already for the game. Mike Aviles, the leadoff man, waiting. Here we go. 3-2, runner at first, one out, 1-0 Indians. Well stroked, deep left field. CLE back a few steps, makes the catch. The 2 away here in the second. Follow the Mariners wherever you are. MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. With 2 outs, brings up Mike Aviles as we begin the second time through the Cleveland order. He looks at a strike and walked in a 3-1 pitch. Open up the home first. RBI single by Zach Walters has Cleveland in front, 1-0.
And you can see the total now at 60, so 31 pitches so far here in the second.
Two and one.
Good news, the bullpen's in good shape.
Three balls, 1 strike. Antenna's on deck. And he walked. Second walk. Second time he's walked. Aviles. Both on 3-1 pitches. And as you would expect, the general, Rick Wade's going to come out. Pitching coach.
Well, it's been 34 pitches in this inning, and that's after he threw 29 in the first. And I think he's out there just to give him a little bit of a break. Fortunately, after all those pitches, he's only given up the 1 run. And so Rick wants to make sure he's able to bear down and get out of this inning. And looking at the bullpen, Joe Beimel ended up pitching a couple of innings in last night's ball game. Rodney just won, so the guys out in the pen can pick the rest of it. And it looks like they're going to get some work, because right now with Jay, he's probably going to have to work really hard to get through 5 innings again.
Brings up Carlos Santana, the first baseman, flied out to left. Inning started with a Brandon Moss double to right center field. After a strikeout looking, an RBI single by Zach Walters, 1-0 Indians. 2 on and 2 out. Ball 1. Big swing and a miss. It's a little better than I thought it was, but it's not great. 1-1. Get down to Seager. Throws to Cano. And that'll do it. Limited the damage to 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. 1-0 Cleveland. If their pitching can continue to improve, I like their chances. I mean, right now they're scoring 5+ runs a ball game. I don't know if that'll hold up for an entire year, but they got some guys who can swing the bat. When we were there, they hadn't totally got going offensively, but you got Encarnacion, you got Donaldson going crazy, you got Bautista. Jose Reyes is back. We didn't see him.
Yeah, he homered yesterday, I believe. But you look at their offensive numbers, they're 3rd in average, 1st in runs scored, 1st in doubles, 3rd in home runs, 2nd in walks, 4th in stolen bases. Yeah. So with all the power, they're still running.
We will see them as Ackley hits one to Walters for the first stop. They'll be in Seattle July 24 through the 27th, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, and I look at that, and they're 14th in ERA. So I think if they're going to be serious contenders, that number is going to have to get better for them, even though they can score the runs.
Continue to ask your questions at #AskRootsSports. Brings up Mike Zunino, subject of one of the questions in our pregame show about getting him going. Mariners looking for their first hit. They've had the first 7 men retired by Sean Markham. Markham's had a long rest too. My goodness, with J-Hap laboring, he hasn't had a chance to get fully lathered up yet.
Well, Mike was on base a couple of times yesterday, had a walk and also a base hit to left field.
On 1 to count to Mike. Brad Miller to follow. Zunino looking for his first hit against Markham. He's 0 for 2. Ball at 2 strikes. Wind blowing in still from right center field. There's Howard Johnson, hitting coach for the Mariners. Great night last night for him. His boys banged out 10 hits. 9 runs on 10 hits. And Zunino skies one in left field. Rayburn makes the catch. 2 outs. Brings up Brad Miller. Got a 6-game hitting streak rolling. 8 up, 8 down for Markham. Anderson for their first hit. Strike one to Brad. He did go, says CB Buckner. Brad didn't like that. 0-2. Markham struck out 4. 3 looking.
I still don't quite understand why the home plate umpires don't ask for help on the check swings. Doesn't take any time.
Exactly. You got 3 other sets of eyes.
Right. It's just so hard, I think, for them to decide one way or the other. And I think if you check, the hitters will live with it a little bit more. Our good friend Adrian Beltre wants them to check every time. He's still doing that, isn't he?
Well, he's injured right now, but yeah, you are correct. 2-2 to Brad Miller. Worked the full count. Logan Morrison hopes to swing the bat here in 3rd inning. Here we go. 3-2. Center fielder Brantley camps under it. Glare today, but a clean, perfect pass through the Mariner order. 9 up, 9 down. Sean Markham, he's got a 1-0 lead. 1-0 Tribe here in the finale of this series and the season series with Cleveland. The big night. It's almost upon us. Friday, June 19th. Star Wars night at Safeco Field. Mariners host the Astros. After the game, it's going to be a fireworks show set to the movie's award-winning soundtrack. For tickets to Star Wars night, visit mariners.com. Going to see the Astros beginning tomorrow night. Game of 2 day games. Astros last in batting average, first in home runs, and 4th in slugging, 5th in ERA. And they have had some hard times. They've lost 7 consecutive ball games. Here's Brantley, and he looks at ball 1. Michael Brantley, Ryan Rayburn, and Yan Gomes, 3, 4, and 5 here. Bottom of the 3rd in Cleveland. Pull the string on him. Got a base hit on a 2-2 pitch. Base hit to right, first inning.
I give Jay a lot of credit with all the pitches that he's thrown to be down just 1-0. Pretty good.
And a check down to Dan Iasonia. And it's strike 2 on Brantley, 1-2. Through the hole. Good looking young player. Fourth Cleveland hit.
Well, he tried something a little bit different. It was a fastball that he was able to hit into right field his first time, and then he came back with a breaking ball right there, the curve, 78 miles an hour, and he hit it into right field again.
That one goes to right field. So the first 2 men have reached. So 2 on for Yan Gomes, who struck out at a 2-2 pitch.
Fastball looks like it's in a pretty good location on the outside corner. He just goes with the pitch. There you can see it on the EQC tracer.
Fouled off a lot of pitches. Time one helps it heating up. Ball 1. We're in the 3rd, and you can see where J-Happ's pitches are. It's not the command we generally see from him, plus a lot of foul balls like that one hit by the Cleveland Indians ball club.
Well, we've had a number of hitters that had 8, 9 pitch at bats.
Indians took 3 out of 4 for the Mariners back home in Seattle. Mariners have taken the first 2. Trying to get a sweep. Down the line. That's a foul ball. Check out the Alaska Supermo and this foul ball. See the seams.
That's pretty good.
Yan Gomes.
So it's been 6 hitters, Dave, that have had 7+ pitches in their at bats. 6 of them.
Boy, that's torturous on a pitch count. Good grief. 1-2 count to Gomes. 2 on, nobody out. And Happ with Miller coming to join in.
Well, for that to happen, it's what we said. There's a lot of foul balls, especially with 2 strikes, battling them and a tough time putting them away earlier.
Double plays his best friend right now. He can get one. One-two pitch. Down low. Just joining us, Nelson Cruz sitting out again. One more day. Figured he got 9 runs without him last night. Give him another day of rest before heading down to the important series in Houston. Swing and a miss. He got Gomes. Big strikeout. Second time he's K'd him. For Happ, that's 3 strikeouts in the afternoon.
Take a look at this last pitch. It's the curveball and down. Swings right over the top of it. Only 79 miles an hour. Took a lot off the curveball.
Cleveland so far 1 for 6 runners in scoring position, coming off a night where they were 1 for 17. Brendan Moss. Broken bat. Loper's going to drop in. Here comes Brantley. He's going to score. And Cleveland has a 2-0 lead. Moving from first to third is Rayburn. Brandon Moss picking up his 34th RBI, and he's 2 for 2 today.
Take a look at it. Slow breaking ball again. Just trying to get ahead of him, and it hits it right off the end of the bat. You can see a piece of it flying.
And Lloyd's made a decision. He's seen enough. He's going to take J. Happ out here in the 3rd inning. Doesn't want to let this game get any farther away. It's 2-0 Indians.
Well, I think that's a great question. I look at Houston, and when they were on that tremendous run and jumped out in front of everybody, you just had to feel that with the way that their club is constructed, as young as they are, they were going to come back to the pack a little bit. Obviously, they're talented and their pitching is much improved. Offensively, they can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They strike out a lot, though. So I think, and you look at the West right here, I think it's going to stay bunched up for a while. And for the Mariners, again, we've talked about it. If they can get to the point, they're pitching, they've been able to work that out because April was a struggle for them on that end of it. But they pitched extremely well over the last month and a half. Their defense has gotten better. So if they can get to that 4 runs a game, which is what Lloyd has been talking about, I think they're going to be in pretty good shape. But It's just a matter of them getting there. And we were all hoping that after last night, had to get them on a nice run offensively.
Good look at the Delta Airlines standings. Tom Wilhelmsen takes over. Texas Ball Club has won 24 of its last 38 ball games. Factor in big time in the division. Urshela has to back out of the way. 1-1. Urshela took a called third strike his first time. Swing and a miss. Tom gets it by him. 1-2. Yeah, Texas Ball Club rugged start, 7-14 in April, May 19-11, and they're 5-3 in June. One and two. That's a base hit through the hole, and a 3-0 Cleveland lead as Rayburn scores. Tommy Urshela, his first big league hit, second RBI. Kyle Seager gives the ball to Mike Sarbaugh, the third base coach, and they throw it into Brad Mills.
Looks like Mike was set up away, and that fastball ended up running to the inside corner.
A 3-0 Cleveland lead. First big league hit for Giovanni Urshela. There's Zach Walters. He drove in the first run of the ball game, base hit to right last time up. That was in the second inning. Count goes to 1-1. Bottom of the order doing some damage here. You got Moss, 2 hits and an RBI. Urshela with an RBI and a base hit, and Walters out of the 8-hole. Meanwhile, the Mariners looking for their first hit. One and two. The Indians with runners at first and second, 1 out, 2 runs in. Here's what the Tribe has done to this point. Oh, man, I got a big piece of Zunino. That looked like it hurt him. Lloyd coming out of the dugout with Rob Nodine, and Zunino's in some pain here.
Sure what happened there.
Ooh, shoulder.
Yeah, he was crossed up. He was getting himself in a position to look like he was going to block a curveball, and this is a fastball. First I thought it was a foul tip, but he clearly swings through it, doesn't touch it, and you can see Mike starting to move.
A finger that's out. Oh, brother. Strong leg bull.
I mean, that's a pretty good fastball. His fastball is going to be 94, 95 miles an hour.
Ready to go. Boy, that wasn't pretty. So pass ball, runners move up. So a strikeout and a pass ball. And here's Perez, the catcher. Outside. Ooh. CB Buckner said he went. Perez flying out to left his first at bat. Runners at second and third here for the Indians. 2 runs in, 3-0 lead. 1-2 pitch from Big Tom. That's a gap shot, going to pick up 2. Perez drives in 2 more runs. 5-0 Cleveland. All this damage done by the bottom of the order.
They are now 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. 3 of those hits coming in this inning. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, trying to get it to the outside corner. Perez hit that towards the end of the bat, but went out to left center field, so both runners able to score without a problem.
Aviles drives one deep to left. Sends Ackley to the track. And finally the Tribe is retired. 8 men to the plate. They score 4 runs on 5 hits and have a 5-0 lead. Baseball on Root Sports, being brought to you by Audi, Truth in Engineering, by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast, and by the Rockwood Fired Kitchen, pizza, burgers, spirits. City Hall here in Cleveland, hazy day, pleasant day, 72 degrees. Mariner fans right now hoping that the boys can get cranking here. There's been no hit through 3 by Sean Markham. 9 up, 9 down. Beginning the second time through the order right now with Logan Morrison. What have they learned through the first 9?
I think that they're going to have to be patient. We talked about it with Markham at the beginning of it. He's not overpowering at all. He's going to continue to change speeds, work both sides of the plate. Had really good command of his cut fastball today. And typically you see so many guys, especially the Mariners have recently seen so many guys that throw so hard. And he is just a contrast to that, and a pretty big one when you think his fastball is at 85. I think the tendency sometimes is to try to do too much with it, and that's what he wants you to do. I think the guys that really want to take a big swing at it are probably playing right into his hands. But even with that pitch right there, didn't miss by much. But the variety of speeds and then the cut fastball, I think, has been effective for him so far today.
1 run in the second, a big third inning for the Tribe with 4 for this 5-0 lead. Marson's got a 2-2 count.
There you go, 16 games.
Two pitch. Hit him. Lego's perfect game. Let's check out our Geico this date in MLB history. Johnny Vandermeer throws the first of his consecutive no-hitters, shutting out the Boston Bees 3-0. Struck out 4, walked 3. 4 days later, it was a short rotation back in those days. No hit the Dodgers, struck out 7 but walked 8 in a 6-0 win at Ebbets Field. Of course, to break that record, you got to throw 3 consecutive no hitters. Good luck with that.
You don't think that's going to happen?
No. Chris Heston, we get a chance to tie Mr. Vandermeer, he of the Giants. Heston probably will be teeing it up again this weekend. No hit the Mets a couple of nights ago. Here's Austin Jackson. 1-0 count to him. Austin flied out center field on a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. And went measuring out. Looks like Heston will pitch Sunday against the Diamondbacks. Well hit. Deep down the line. Hooking foul. In 4 games, the Mariners will play the Giants next week. It's looking like Tim Hudson, Tim Lincecum, Madison Bumgarner, and Ryan Vogelsong. That's a heck of a force
really
there.
is. Yeah, it is.
Be ready, boys. Interesting.
We've been talking about, too, the Giants. They've been swinging the bats, too.
Yes, sir. One and 2 to Austin.
It's been a little bit strange today. The wind is blowing in from right field. And I'm wondering, though, with the way this ballpark is built, we've seen a couple of fly balls hit out to left, and it looks as if it's knocking them down.
Yep.
And I was watching Andy Van Slyke when the Mariners were in the field, and he was trying to bring his outfielders in quite a bit.
A couple of balls hit the left that jumped off the bat. Fouled off. They had that last fly ball by Aviles. Santana hit one hard in the first inning to left field. Mariners looking for their first hit. 2-2 gets away, and Morrison will get to second base standing up.
And that will be a wild pitch.
2-2, make that a 3-2 count to Austin Jackson. We're talking about the Giants pitching 6th in the league, number 1 in hitting, number 5 in runs, 2nd in on base, 3rd in slugging. It's going to be a fun 4 games. 3-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it.
That's one of the things with Markham that I was talking about earlier, Dave, is with him, he's just not going to give him. He has a big lead right now, 5-0, and you would think 3-2 count, he was going to give him his good fastball. But once again, it's 81 miles an hour cutter.
Let me ask you something. Has anybody given in on what was used to be a fastball count in the last week?
Well, there's some of the guys, but those guys are usually throwing 95 to 97 miles an hour.
Right. 3-2. Here comes Brantley. He makes the catch. One away. Let's take a look at that Mariner calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Houston, we're coming. Then the Giants for 4, 2 there, 2 at our place, and then Houston again. And the Mariners in that Houston series will be throwing Felix, Mike Montgomery, and Roenis Elias. See if Cano can have a moment here. Struck out looking. A couple of, let's just say, disputed calls his first time up. Brantley going back, going way back, and he makes the catch. Brantley, third in MVP balloting last year to Trout and Martinez. All-Star Silver Slugger award winner. Good player. 2 down.
Took another look at it, and he was playing shallow in center field. Robbie barrels this up in pretty good shape. I thought he was going to hit it over his head, but once again started to die towards the end of that line drive out to center. Brantley able to run it down.
Kyle Seager bounced out the first. Got 2 out. Morrison aboard. He was hit by a pitch. Wild pitch got him to second. Ball 1.
Pretty good changeup.
Yes, it was. Well located. There's another strike. This time at 84 miles an hour. 1-2 to Kyle. 2 out, men aboard. One-two pitch. Popped it up. Third baseman Urshela does not have a play.
I think that win we were talking about helped Kyle out right there. Looked like the ball was going to stay in play, and that breeze, you can see the flags ended up taking it into the stands.
So another opportunity for Kyle with a man at second. Mariners down 5-0, top of the 4th. Gets through the catch of Perez, and making his way to third is Morrison. Another wild pitch. Got a man to third without a hit. Hit batter, 2 wild pitches. Morrison's at third. That wind out of the north-northeast at 14 miles an hour. 2-2 here to Kyle. Pitch from Marco. Outside. 3-2. Seager starting the day at .433 hitter at Progressive Field over his last 15 games. 6th full count for Markham. 3-2 pitch. Shortstop waiting for it. That's Aviles. Throws him out. No runs, no hits, no errors. There's 2 wild pitches and a hit batter. 1 man left. 5-0 Indians. A no-no so far for Markham.
That's a pretty good question, Ben, because having grown up in the area, I was obviously a fan, and so I tried to spread it out a little bit. Obviously, some teammates too, and you have to go with Mr. Mariner, Alvin Davis, I think, at first base. Of course, Brett Bone had some big years for the Mariners at second. Omar Vizquel, what a career for Omar at shortstop. Went with Kyle Seager. That was a hard one because Jim Presley, one of my favorites, was one of the guys I was looking at. But I think Kyle, with what he's done, an All-Star, Gold Glove, and he's obviously going to be playing here for a very long time. So I went Kyle at third. Outfield was tough, so I put Ichiro in left. Junior, of course, out in center. Jay is right field. Dan, the man behind the plate. And I'll go with the lefty-righty combination on the mound. Pretty good ones in Randy Johnson and Felix Hernandez. So,
well, you can win some ball games with that crew.
Yeah, Edgar, of course, the DH. So all the Mariner Hall of Famers in there, and it's kind of fun to think about it. And for me, I mean, I can go back to Bruce Bhakti and all of those guys,
absolutely.
Which was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Santana pulls one to Brad Miller. It's right into the shift. Send your questions to hashtag AskRoot. Try to accommodate as many folks as we can. A story in this game, Jay Happ, who had been so sharp over his last 6 games, had 5 consecutive no decisions, didn't have it today. Goes 2 1/3, so Tom Wilhelmsen came on in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, for Jay, 2 1/3 through 77 pitches in 2 1/3. A lot of foul balls today.
There's Brantley 2 for 2. Michael scored a run in the 3rd. The bottom of the order's done all the damage for the Tribe. 9-hole hitter Perez has 2 runs batted in. 8-hole hitter Walters has 1. Urshela batting 7th. He's got an RBI. And Brandon Moss, who always gives the Mariners a hard time, he's batting in the 6th hole. He's driven in a run. Oh, 2 here to Brantley. And got him on 3 pitches, 2 down. Try a real triple play. ST Express buses, Link Light Rail, and Sounder trains. Weigh your options at soundtransit.org. Wilhelmsen, a second strikeout, 2 down here, and the home fourth.
Good news for Tom. 21 pitches, 18 strikes. Still a lot of strikes.
One to Ryan Rayburn, the left fielder, reached on a fielder's choice, singled and scored in the third. Time at 94 with that pitch that was fouled off. Everybody throwing right now, so Lloyd would love to get this inning and probably the 5th, and if be greedy, maybe even part of the 6th with Tom. Breaking ball.
Good curveball.
Sure was. Came over the top. Seager throws him out in a clean inning. 1, 2, 3. Mariners looking for the first hit. See if they can get some hits, bunch them up, get some runs. Seth Smith, Mark Trumbo, Dustin Ackley coming up. It's the Tribe 5-0. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries. Hire smart and go to protectmyhome.net, and by AM/PM, too much good stuff. Cleveland Browns Stadium on your left. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They get after it here, some football games. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on your right, and the Science Center in the middle. But you don't want to be there, oh, I don't know, maybe second Sunday in December with the wind coming in off the lake. Seth Smith to lead it off. How about Markham, huh? Through 4 innings, he's got no hit ball. He struck out 4, hasn't walked anybody. He did hit a batter and thrown 2 wild pitches.
Again, he's just mixed it up using both sides of the plate. His cutter has been effective for him today. There's a slow breaking ball. I think for me, when you look at what he has done this year and the way that he uses his pitches, it seems to me that he's using his curveball a little bit more too. So, you know, the guys that go through their scouting reports and look at that, and they're basically ready for the cutter. I think if he locates it, it's still going to be tough to square up. But typically throws a lot of changeups, not as many curveballs.
And here's one for you. How many times have you written HH hit hard next to an at bat today? Not once. Now Nuno warming up.
And there's that cutter again in on the hands. Seems to me that would be a more difficult pitch for the left-handers if he locates it. If he leaves it out over the plate, you can hit it hard. But if he's getting it on the inside corner or just off the corner when you have 2 strikes, it's a tough pitch to square up. Because you always have that change-up in the back of your mind.
Coming over is center fielder Brantley, giving way to Ryan Rayburn, the left fielder. 1 out. Next stop, Houston. CenturyLink, what's next? Felix against Brett Overholtz. Mike Montgomery against Colin McHugh. We see McCatch McHugh every series. And Roenis Elias against Lance McCullers Jr. He's off to a really good start. Young man, his daddy, good pitcher back not too long ago. Remember, largely with San Diego. Here's Mark Trumbo. Mark struck out looking on a 2-2 pitch in his first at bat.
Yeah, starting with the cutter right off the outside corner. .76 pitches, 45 strikes.
That gets through. First Mariner base hit. There goes Nono for 4 1/3. Gets a nice ovation from the crowd here in Cleveland. Brings up Dustin Ackley. Grounded out to the second baseman Walters. Dustin trying to extend his hitting streak to 5 ball games. Walters smothers it. He'll take the out at first. 2 away. Runner at second, Trumbo with 2 outs. Stick around after the game for Mariners post game presented by Delta Airlines. Mariners with just their second base runner today after getting the first hit of the ball game. Trumbo's at second. First base runner was Morrison, hit by a pitch leading off the 4th. Now Mike Zunino flied out to left. I think the hardest ball hit so far today is Cano.
Yep, on the center field
that
that Brantley ran down
right
just in front of the warning track.
Clouds starting to take over. Not as much sun as we'd had earlier. Breeze still coming in from right center. Oh, 2 to Mike. Markham, 33 years old, lives in Kansas City. Pro career began back in 2003. Toronto organization got to the big leagues 5 games in 05. Zunino right field. Right there is Brandon Moss. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Cleveland leads 5-0. Well, we certainly hope so. I mean, based on the number of at-bats he got last year, if he gets that same number, he's going to have to hit 341 the rest of this campaign to hit 300. And keep in mind, last year he had 2 months in which he hit better than 350, so it's doable. And we had detailed a couple of days ago, I think, the slow start he had in 08, where he was off to a really poor start, just ripped it up. Finished close to 300 that year as Vidal Nuno takes over. Yan Gomes skies one. Ackley calls off Miller. And there's one out.
And Robbie, typically a better hitter in the second half, so we're hoping for a big second half for him. But Nuno, take a look at what he's done. This is his 3rd appearance so far. 1 inning pitched. That's a strikeout.
Here's Brandon Moss having a good day. Double, run scored, and an RBI single and a run scored. Got to really time Nuno the way Zunino took another shot, but watching Nuno's warm up, he really explodes out of there after right there at that point. Full Moss strikes him out.
He's a little bit interesting too in that his left foot, when he's in contact with the rubber, he has a little slide, but then he slides back. We've seen guys that'll slide across. Houston Street's probably the one that slides the most.
He's unbelievable.
But he doesn't slide back. And take a look at this last pitch. Pretty good breaking ball out of the strike zone. You're ahead in the count. That's what you want to do with it. So well executed there.
I can't remember anybody's foot moving as much as Houston Street. That's amazing. And he loses contact on a couple of taps too, right? He's a nice fella, and boy, he's had a heck of a career. Houston Street. Here's your Urshela. First big league hit. Last time up in the 3rd. Drove in a run. This one well hit. Left field. Ackley turns, watches it leave the yard. First home run in his big league career comes with 2 outs here in the 5th inning on Thursday, June 11th. Giovanni Urshela's first major league home run. Well, that's a day. Looks like they got the ball too.
And the location of this pitch ends up in the middle of the plate, not where he wanted to throw it. But he was trying to go off the outside corner and missed his spot.
Brings up Zach Walters. RBI single in the 2nd, strikeout in the 3rd. Again, damage done by the bottom of the order. Urshela batting in the 7-hole. 2 for 3. He's knocked in 2 runs. Awkward swing by Walters. He strikes out. Zunino throws down to first. Home run by Urshela extends the Cleveland lead to 6-0. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Money Tree. Proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today only at Jack in the Box. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Happenings here at Progressive Field. Indians fans enjoying what the scoreboard shows, a 6-0 Cleveland lead. Mariners need a big rally to get going here. Mariners have been one hit by Sean Markham. Brad Miller, Logan Morrison, and Austin Jackson, 9-1-2 coming up. Santana knocks it down. Scoops, and they get him. One away here in the 6th. Here's another terrific idea. A terrific deal from the Mariners team store. You're going to receive a free baseball signed by a Mariner player when you purchase $150 of officially licensed player merchandise. The offer is good at all 5 Mariner team store locations while supplies last. Top of the order in Logan Morrison, trying to keep that hitting streak working. It's at 16 games. Today a strikeout and hit by a pitch. And hit by a pitch in the 4th, and wild pitches by Markham got him to 3rd, but the Mariners couldn't bring him home.
I thought Logan, this would be a good matchup for him over the course of this hitting streak. He's done a really nice job on staying on the off-speed pitches. staying inside the ball. In fact, base hit he had yesterday, the double that drove in a couple runs, was on a curveball.
Markham has struck out 4 and has not issued a walk. High fly ball, deep right field. Going back is Moss. Got it measured though on the track. And there's that wind, 14 miles an hour coming in from right center field. Knocked it down.
Yeah, that hurt him. That was definitely going to leave the ballpark, and the wind knocking it down.
So 2 away here in the 6th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 2 outs, nobody on in the 6th. Austin Jackson, 2 flyouts to center field. Looks at strike 1. Down to third, hung a breaking ball, but Urshela's there, throws him out. Markham breezes in the 6th. He's in command. A 1-hit shutout. I wouldn't anticipate it. I know the Mets did it for, I think, a turn or 2. Then there was a couple injuries recently. I want to say within the last month they did that, but I wouldn't anticipate that.
I know that there was some talk. Some people were talking about it, and I think that what they wanted to do was basically go to the 6th man and have Felix go every 5th day, because you don't want to miss that extra turn or 2 that he would have when you get towards the end of the year. I don't think that's something that they would do. I guess you never know. The one thing that would be good about it is you can keep some innings down for the younger pitchers you have. You know, Walker and Elias last year, and Paxton, of course. But I don't know that they'll do that or not. I haven't heard Lloyd discuss it or anybody else. Again, you know, you're looking forward to getting those guys back, but you hope that the rest of your staff is still healthy at the time. You never know.
There's Cano flipping to Miller. A turn 2. Needed that. Quick 2 outs here in the 6th. Brings up Carlos Santana.
It is an interesting question, though. I think I'll tomorrow have a chance. I'll talk to Rick Waits about that and see what he thinks.
Elliot, thank you for your question. Way out front, good off-speed pitch there by Nuno. 0-2. Santana today is 0 for 3. There's Rick Waits. Nice job by Nuno to strike out Santana. Double play, a big help. Mariners need to get going. 6-0 Indians. Game changer. And the Indians been all about their offense here today.
It started with Moss on this base hit to drive in a run.
There's another base hit. That was your Urshela. Then followed up. Perez drives in a couple. Big third inning. They score 4 times, make it a 5-0 lead at that point, and add another run in the 5th. Here's Cano. Strike one to Robbie, who is 0 for 2. Fly it out. A deep left center field on the track. Ball run down by Brantley. Good off-speed pitch at 71.
And for Markham, 92 pitches. That ties a season high for him.
No, just getting a piece of it. He's really silenced this Mariners offense, which exploded for 9 runs on 10 hits last night. It's 1 hit today. 2 base runners. The hit by Trumbo. The other base runner was Logan Morrison, who was hit by a pitch. Not walked anybody. 0-2 to Cano.
It's one of the things tough to figure out in this game. You get Kluber the first night the Mariners able to get to him, and then Bauer came in with an ERA in the 2s, 2.9 or something like that, and they get to him for a bunch. And Markham is ERA over 5, and really throwing a great game today, the veteran.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Cano, Seager, Smith. 3, 4, and 5 for the Mariners. Wind coming in from right center field. Clouds really taking over now. Lights are on. Have been for a while. There's a well-struck single. Maybe even a double. He should get two, and he will. The Cano's hit the ball hard twice today, and he's got this double to show for it. His 15th. Good two-strike hitting.
I want to go to the outside corner again. Let's see where this pitch ends up. Not a bad pitch. Down and on the outside corner. Robbie able to cover it.
Robbie in the top 10 in doubles in the American League. That's his 15th.
And with Markham now at 96 pitches, getting some action out in the bullpen for the Indians. McAllister, hard throwing right-hander. He'll be 95 plus.
Seager hits it deep. Hooks foul.
I think if you're going to hit one out to right today, it's going to have to be a line drive.
.375 in the gap, right center field. .325 down the line. 400 straight away. Popped up, and Urshela has some room, and the wind takes it away. Did he make the catch? Did not. Second time he had a beat on it.
I think it was both times it was Kyle that hit it over there on the breaking ball.
Boy, did that take it?
Well,
Cano at second, nobody out. 0-2 pitch here to Seager. Fly ball, shallow right field, coming in as Moss. The wind did to that thing.
The batter for the Mariners, the right fielder, Seth.
All right, True Blue Mariner wants to know what ballpark has the lowest attendance this year. Well, that's easy. We know that from being down there 10 days ago. Tropicana Field. It was at 15,000 when we were there. They're now below 15 at 14,389 average. Montreal calling? Is that Montreal? Can you hold, please? Swing and a miss by Seth Smith. A viewer from Nova Scotia wanted to know what we thought about getting another baseball team back in Montreal. I'm sure Rob Manfred, Major League Baseball commissioner, he and his folks would like somebody to step up and build a brand new ballpark, and maybe they could get something done there. I wouldn't mind that. I've been at Montreal since Expo '67. You played for the organization.
Yeah, I started my career with them, so I'd be for it.
And judging, what was it? The Latin had what, 2-3 games against Toronto right before the season opener. They drew great crowds.
Right. I think you're right, though. I think they're going to need a ballpark to make that happen.
Yeah. Shift on for Smith. Just got a piece of that. Think they'd ever move a team to Vegas? Put a team in Vegas?
Thought somebody asked Manfred that when we saw him earlier this year. He didn't seem to be.
Yeah.
Think that was going to happen.
City of Glendale, Arizona terminated its lease with the Coyotes, so Vegas starting to look pretty good to that franchise. Smith today a strikeout looking and a fly to left. A.B. Buckner says he did go. Tag applied by Perez. Cano holds at second. And another strikeout for Markham in his first since he got Trumbo back in the second inning. That's strikeout number 5. Eric Hosmer, Lorenzo Cain, and the defending American League champion Kansas City Royals come to Seattle. Play the Mariners for 3 games beginning June 22nd. Series has 2 chances for you to save with family ticket specials. For more info, go to mariners.com. Here's Mark Trumbo. Moss coming in, and he makes the play. No runs, a hit, no errors, the man left. Bottom of the 7th coming up, 6-0 Cleveland. How about stretching your body too as you consider how Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list? Play today. Jim Thome statue, it's still to come. I was walking by there earlier today, come to the ballpark. We're going to have a Larry Doby statue coming out there soon to join Bob Feller statue. And a little bit hungry right now. It's coming up on 2:30 Eastern time. Brats look pretty doggone good. One with mustard. Send one up for Mike too. I'm figuring he's hungry about now as well. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers with him. Michael Brantley against Vidal Nuno. It's been all Cleveland today. 1 run in the second, 4 in the third, 1 in the 5th. Sean Markham had a perfect game through 3. A no-hitter into the 5th. Mariners have just 2 hits. Trumbo 5th inning single and a double by Cano in the 7th. Outstanding performance.
Boy, 7 innings, just 2 hits. He hasn't walked anybody today. He did hit a batter, hit Logan Morrison. 5 strikeouts, 106 pitches, 106, well above what his career or his season high was at 92.
Ball and 2 strikes. Brantley's had a nice day. 2 singles to right. 3rd inning, he came around and scored. And he struck out in his 3rd appearance. Terry Francona, Brad Mills, they go all the way back to the University of Arizona together. Coached by Jerry Kindle. Terrific coach, good baseball player, good baseball man. He's 80 years old and still doing some baseball on TV. Did a super regional with him the year Long Beach State with Tulo, Jason Vargas, and Jared Weaver played against Arizona. Had a good time with Coach. Good man. Talked to him yesterday. Brantley grounds out.
And we'll take a look at Sean Markham and the work that he has done. Brought to you by Columbia Bank. But here you go. A lot of off-speed pitches. Really effective with his cutter today. That was a problem. And cutter right there. Good curveball today. 3 more curveballs than I expected. That was his changeup. Change speeds. He's anywhere from 71 to 85 miles an hour this afternoon.
He struck out 4 the first 6 that he faced. Then got his most recent strikeout in the 7th. But you're right, up, down, in, out, change speed. Textbook performance. Third inning of work for Nuno. Gave up a home run in the 5th to Urshela. Tom Wilhelmsen. He went an inning and 2/3. Cano backing up. Makes the play, 2 outs. Imagine a pregame party in Edgar's Cantina with Edgar himself. Well, save the date, June 15th. You can bid on items like this during the Mariners Roots Sports Tele-Auction. All proceeds benefit Mariners Care. For a full list of auction items, visit mariners.com/root. Yan Gomes, everyday catcher, DHing today, struck out twice and fly to left. He was the first hitter that Nuno faced today. Got him to fly out on the first pitch, fly out to left. Count stays at 1-2. Mariners will get into Houston a good hour tonight. About 7:45 Central Time. As Nuno strikes out Gomes. Nuno's done a nice job here. To the 8th inning, Mariners 6 outs to play with. Trail 6-0. I like his chances if he can stay on his current pace. I mean, right now at 9-2 with a 2.51 ERA, and he's had that ERA under, he's had it under 2 in the 1.9s. He's due for another really strong role here. I like his chances.
I think so. I mean, to me, you mentioned it, he's first in wins with 9 so far this year. So I think that he has a real good chance. Why not? And as you mentioned, he'll have the one Rocky started I don't know if it was his last one or the one before that. And he usually puts together a pretty good run after that in a long run. So I think he's in pretty good shape.
The delay is because Michael Brantley thought he was out of the game because Michael Bourne takes over in center, but it took Rayburn out of the game. Brantley moves from center to left, and Bourne takes over in center field. New pitcher, Zach McAllister. Markham dominant. 2-hit shutout baseball for 7 innings. No walks and 5 Ks. Very impressive.
This will be a different look for the guys. His 24th appearance for McAllister, 3.78 ERA, 38 strikeouts over the 33 and a third that he has worked. Opponents are hitting .299 against him, and he's given up 3 home runs. But he's a hard-throwing right-hander. He'll be right around 95 miles an hour.
Ackley, Zunino, and Miller, bottom third of the Mariner order. Bottom part of the Indians order has really rampaged here today. See if it hangs up. It does. Hit right into the teeth of that wind. Speaking of Mr. Hernandez, we'll see him tomorrow at CenturyLink. What's next? We'll see him against Brett Oberholzer. Mike Montgomery's pitched really well in his first 2 starts. Colin McHugh, Mariners always battle him. And Roanna Solis got his 3rd win here in Cleveland. Lance McCullers Jr. Youngster off to a good start. Like Zunino, fly to left, fly to right.
Fernando Rodney pitched an inning last night. Looks like he's going to get some more work.
Sharpen him up. Strike 3 called. Mike's gone. 2 outs. Did you know there's a playground located inside Safeco Field? It's the Seattle Children's Playfield. Located center field, offers your youngest Mariner fans their own playground inside the ballpark. Next time you're at Safeco Field, check out the Seattle Children's Playfield. Quick 2 outs in the 8th. Strike 1 to Brad Miller.
McAllister has his curveball working today. So in the first game of the series, and he was basically just throwing fastballs.
Look at it. Bat goes flying. Ball popped up left field. Brantley's got it. Thankfully, nobody got hit. Ball bounced into the fence right below Bud McClendon and Trent Jewett. 6-0 Tribe. Dan Wilson for the 3rd annual All-Star Softball Classic for Youth. Bring your family and friends to Safeco Field on Saturday, June 27th at 3 p.m. Show some love for our community's young people. For ticket information, visit www.uwkc.org. Well, Tara writes in, wanted to know if last year's Cy Young result will impact this year's balloting, given that Felix is off to a good start. Kluber's, what, 3-7 now?
I think it's interesting. It's an interesting question, but yeah, I would think that if it comes down to the end of the year and Felix and somebody else pick somebody, whether it's Archer or somebody like that, and it's close, I would hope that it would go to Felix. We certainly thought he should have won it last year. And I think, just consistently being right there, I would hope that he would get an advantage for that. I don't know, but I would hope so. What do you think?
That would work for me. I think, Felix stays so prominent on all your stat pages, and people love to watch him, with all the, you can watch baseball anytime. He's a big attraction. I know the other day when I saw my ESPN buddies, he said, hey, we're going to come over on a day game as Felix pitching. I mean, everywhere I go, hey, when's Felix pitching?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big-time attraction.
Well, he's not just great, but he's fun to watch.
Well, sharpening up opportunity here for Mr. Rodney. He'll get Moss, Urshela, and Walter 6, 7, and 8. Fernando, and we'll get Felix tomorrow. Fernando, an inning last night, 2 hits, a run it was earned, and a strikeout. Moss today, very productive. Fernando starts 3-0.
And he certainly wanted the call on that last pitch, didn't get it.
Four-pitch walk. Well, frustration started rather early in this ballgame. Our Big Fish Casino big catch, and we thought this might be a huge factor here. Logan Morrison thought he checked the swing. And checked down to third base umpire Dan Iasonia. He's gone. And then Cano had a couple of pitches. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was the second pitch in that at bat. The other one was clearly a ball and it was called.
And then Lloyd McClendon exchanged words with C.B. Buckner. But since then, a lot of that's become a moot point because the Mariners have all of 2 hits. Tried with a 6-0 lead. But that looked like that could have played a factor today. First strike thrown by Fernando. First big league hit, first big league home run by Giovanni Urshela. Two balls, 1 strike. Ground ball to Cano. Nice turn. Almost stayed on the bag. He did, said Gabe Morales. Second double play turn today. Second 4-6-3.
Hey man, good play by Cano. Looks like this ball comes up a little bit. You can see him quickly reach his glove hand up to make the catch, and then Logan staying on the bag. It looked like he came off for a second, but came right back on the bag to finish the double play.
Here's Walters, switch hitter. RBI single to right and a couple of strikeouts. 7 hits in batting order position 6 through 9 today for Cleveland. Cody Allen getting ready. Speaking of miss at 94. Mariners will have the top of the order in the 9th inning. Morrison, Jackson, and Cano. One-two pitch from Fernando. Got him looking on a fabulous changeup at 81 miles an hour. Good job. Got a double play ball and a strikeout. Good outing for Mr. Rodney. Last stops here for the Mariners. 6-0 try. All right, Brett, thank you so much. Cody Allen's going to take over for the Indians.
For Allen on the year, his 26th appearance, 4.81 ERA, 13 saves and 14 opportunities. There's obviously not a save chance for him today. 36 strikeouts and 24 and a third. It's a big number for him. Opponents hitting 242. He's given up just 1 home run this year.
Faced at the top of the Mariner order, Logan Morrison, Austin Jackson, and Robinson Cano. Just 2 hits today for the Mariners. Trumbo, base hit to left in the 5th. Cano a double to right center in the 7th.
Yeah, and speaking of Logan trying to extend his hitting streak, he's at 16 games right now, and he probably should. He hit the ball well enough, I'll say, to get a home run his last time up, but the wind knocked it down and it was caught right in front of the fence. Seemed a little bit frustrated by that, and I can certainly understand it.
Wind coming out of the right center field at 14 miles an hour, coming out of the northeast. So it's in jeopardy right now.
3rd longest hitting streak this year in the American League.
One and one. High pop left field. Almost hitting streak's going to end at 16. During that time, he had 349.
The batter for the Mariners, center fielder Austin Jackson.
I want to thank all the viewers who tweeted in questions at #AskRootSports. Thank you so much. Fun to interact with you here on the air. Thanks to Brad Adam for keeping that work rolling from back in the studio. Jackson fouling one back. Austin today 0 for 3. 2 fly balls to center field and a ground out to third. Back in the outside corner, 0-2. Cody Allen dealing 1 and 2. Swing and a miss. Got him. 2 down. Really good Cleveland pitching today.
Well, Cody Allen, he's throwing hard to that last fastball at 96 miles an hour. Pretty good slider today. One of the 2 hits for the Mariners. Robinson Cano will stand in. We get another hit. See what he's done for the series. 3 for 12.
15,316 on hand here today. Wow, he didn't like that one. That looked like it was way off the plate.
That was a changeup that was definitely down. There you can see it on the EQC tracer. And been a couple of those today when Robbie's been hitting. Not happy about it.
Ground ball, third base. Shelley throws him out, and that's the ball game. Oakland salvages a game in this series in what a resounding fashion. 6-0. Mariners held the 2 hits. Next stop, Houston, where the Mariners will be looking for their first win. They're 0-4 in Houston. Houston has come back to the pack. Great opportunity with some momentum for these Mariners going to Houston.
Well, as you mentioned, winning 2 out of 3 here is a good way to start the road trip. Obviously, you get greedy, would like the sweep, but more importantly, they're heading out of Houston now. And the good news, they have Felix starting that for them. So you'd like to make up some ground on Houston. Houston has been struggling going into today, losing 7 in a row. You'd certainly like to take advantage of that if you can.
Talk to you from Houston right now. Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines starts right now with Brad Adam and Jason Bay. Fellas?